Hi everyone, welcome to my presentation on open banking. I will cover what open banking is, its opportunities and challenges, stakeholder impact, recommendation for the US government, and how it relates to my career goals. So, what is open banking? Open banking is consumer permission sharing of financial data via secure, standardized APIs. It powers portability, competition, and innovation when paired with strong privacy and security. Now let's move on to US policy landscape, regulatory developments and legal status. CFPB finalized the Section 1033 Personal Financial Data Rights Rule in October 2024. In 2025, a federal court issued a preliminary injunction while the Bureau reconsiders and revises the rule. Meanwhile, industry standards like FDX continue expanding adoption, showing market demand. Now let's move on to opportunities of economic and consumer benefits. Enhance competition. Open banking reduces barriers for consumers to switch providers, increasing competition and improving product access. FinTech innovation supports new FinTech solutions like personal financial management and alternative credit scoring for better services. Financial inclusion leverages alternative data to serve underserved populations, including low-income individuals and small businesses. Public sector benefits improves fraud detection, streamlines disbursement, and enhances financial analytics for government entities. Challenges and risks of open banking. Security, privacy, and governance concern. Security and privacy risk. Open banking increases data sharing risk, making strong API security and consent management critical. Liability and accountability. Multiple entities in open banking create liability challenges requiring clear accountability framework. Standardization and governance. Standardization prevents fragmentation and ensures interoperability across open banking system. Business model challenges. Compliance, cost, and data access fee create tensions for small institutions implementing open banking. Stakeholder impact. Fintechs, incumbent providers, and consumers. Benefit and challenges for fintechs. Fintech gain access to consumer data, enabling innovation, but face data restriction fees and compliance challenges. Impact on incumbent providers. Incumbent banks improve security and reduce risk but must invest in APIs and manage third-party liability. Consumer advantages and protection. Consumers benefit from transparency and personalized services but require clear consent and data protections. Now let's move on to international lessons. Insights from the UK and Australia. UK and Australia demonstrate the importance of a capable standards body, performance and fraud metrics, accreditation where appropriate, and a roadmap that expands coverage over time. Recommendations for US government. Policy and implementation strategies. Hybrid implementation model. A hybrid model combines regulatory outcomes with technical standards defined by qualified bodies to balance oversight and innovation. Consumer protection measures. Codifying purpose limitations, data retention caps, and consent revocation ensure strong consumer privacy protections. Support for small institutions. Phased timelines, shared utilities, and financial incentives facilitate equitable participation of small financial institutions. API security standards. Mandating API security baseline aligned with NIST frameworks enhances data protection and system resilience. Implementation phase rollout and milestones. Initial setup phase. For 6 months, focus on creating program office and finalizing rules and recognition criteria. Standardization and API development. Months 6 to 12 involve recognizing standards bodies and publishing API profiles and protocols. Pilot programs launch. Between 12 and 24 months, pilot programs with bank and fintech begin with performance metrics. Phased compliance and expansion. After 24 months, compliance phases based on institution size, product expansion, and fraud enhancement occur. So, in short, the whole process is like stand up an open banking program office, finalize rule, recognize standard setters, launch pilots with metrics, phase compliance by size, and expand products once it's secure. Conclusion and personal reflection. In this slide, I'll be talking about career impact and my final thoughts. Opportunities in financial services. Open banking creates roles for advising on standards adoption, readiness assessments, and trust by design frameworks. Regulatory expertise needed. Expertise in third-party risks, consumer protection, and policy outcomes is crucial in the evolving regulatory landscape. Career growth and innovation. Engagement with open banking supports growth in technology policy, compliance, and financial innovation careers. Building inclusive ecosystem. Embracing open banking helps build a secure, inclusive, and competitive financial ecosystem in the US. And my personal reflection is open banking aligns with my goal to join the fintech industry. It offers opportunities to analyze data, develop innovative solutions, and shape the future of finance. Thank you for listening. Have a good day, everyone. Bye.
So my professor was happy with my overall presentation and she asked me if she could share my presentation with my friends. And I was like, yes, why not? I was over the moon.